This one's kind of a two-parter because Twitch is a complete mess right now, which is the most friendly YouTube way I can put this, starting out a video. But initially, I saw this morning, and I thought this was going to be like the main story of what's going on with Twitch. Turns out this took a backseat immediately to what followed. But I'll start with this, and we'll go into how Twitch is losing a lot of employees with Amazon proper, just mass layoffs across the board. And I have a feeling Twitch is going to look a lot different in the very near future. PC Gamer says they're sorry. And it's a hot story. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy apologizes for TwitchCon assault of Emeru. It shouldn't have happened. And we take that very seriously. We failed both in allowing it to occur and in our response following. And you know what I'd say to this? Too little, too late, because this is a very disingenuous apology, saying it shouldn't have happened. And we take it very seriously is a lie. You're either lying now or lying then, because you didn't take it seriously and you tried to pull one over in hopes that this would just go away. The way you guys always treat every story that is a massive issue out of Twitch and TwitchCon in particular. And this time it didn't go away because thankfully some random fan just had their phone out and was recording Emeru when it happened. And if that footage never got out to the public, nobody would have known what even transpired. And you could have swept this under the rug just like you do with everything else that happens. So no, sorry, I don't just hear this and accept your apology. This is from PC Gamer. Clancy faced sharp criticism for comments he made in the incident's immediate aftermath. In response to the assault of streamer Emeru at last weekend's TwitchCon, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy has issued an apology from the streaming platform's official X account. Clancy apologized for security lapses and promised improvements, right? Here's the apology, by the way. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but it's basically just a lot of words to be like, we're sorry. We're really sorry. We're sorry. Like, I bet you are, bro. I bet you are. You're sorry you got caught. First, I want to be upfront and take accountability, blah, 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 blah. I promised Twitch would conduct a formal analysis of the incident. Shouldn't you have done that up front? Like, what? Why now? Because the pressure from the public was so much that you're like, shit, I need to cover my ass. Because otherwise, it's going to look really bad if Amazon hears about this and sees what we did and what came out of it. Because it was not very well handled, which is giving it credit. Clancy's allusion to his own prior comments is likely in reference to what he said in his interview with Taylor Lorenz, held at the convention, but uploaded a few days later. The interview touched on a host of topics, including free speech, viewership, demographics on the streaming platform, but Lorenz also asked Clancy about the assault on Emeru. And Clancy said, what happened yesterday was obviously something that we care deeply about. Professed his friendship with Emeru and promised a review of security. He defended Twitch's trust and safety practices and also argued that the incident was part of a wider social trend beyond Twitch, aka it's not our fault. It's just society at large. It's like we didn't have any security at our building when we knew a lot of people were coming in. And we got robbed. But you know what? It's more of a problem with society. That's why we got robbed, because society allows it. It's like, no, bro, take some proactive actions to prevent these things from happening. And most of all, and this is something that keeps getting buried as well, Emeru's favorite security guard was banned from TwitchCon because he dared protect Emeru and hold a psychopath until the police came to take him away for what he was doing to Emeru. And apparently that's not okay with Twitch. They want to protect the people that assault people. They don't want to protect the security guards that are saving people, which kind of speaks volumes for the logic from these people. I can go in detail on all this other stuff, but honestly, the statement just is a bunch of words. You know, I'm not going to give it any more airtime than just say he apologized. Because you know what's really interesting shortly after this news broke? Dexerto. Amazon has reduced its global corporate workforce by approximately 14,000 roles, including some employees at Twitch. That's some curious timing. Now, obviously, it's a lot more than just Twitch, But I would imagine the timing of what just transpired at TwitchCon, the negative public reaction, does play a role in how heavy people get affected at Twitch when this goes down. From Dan Saltman, he says, Amazon is doing layoffs on several units. However, the biggest cut proportionately appears to be at Twitch, with over 35% of their staff being cut. Pray that the CEO and executive team are among them. And I don't know if that's AI or a real photo, but my goodness, it is amazing. And now we have some employees starting to speak out about this. This is from Yeet. It says, Twitch employees are reportedly being affected by the Amazon layoffs. This is Tarfu. He says, I was laid off at Twitch today. I was at Twitch for 11 years. I started off working in the trust and safety, then moved to customer experience. I was the person who built the entire fraud program at Twitch. One of the reasons I never told people what I did for work. I was the one keeping bad actors off Twitch who steal and abuse revenue on the platform. I guess I did my job too well since they let me go. Oh my goodness. I bet that's what it is, bro. But do I have some great stories of being there over a decade? Horrible timing since my motorcycle accident was a month ago. I'm getting married in less than a month. This has definitely been a bad year. And I got a feeling, by the way, with these layoffs coming through, you know what lefty lunatics always love to do when things start hitting the fan? They love to start eating their own. And I got a feeling that once these people get laid off and they get really pissed off, they're going to start making a lot of public comments about the reality at working at Twitch. Permaban says, I would like to sympathize, but I remember many VTubers got their accounts falsely suspended arbitrarily on Twitch, many randomly accused of quote unquote fraud. Funny how people like him toy with others simply because they're VTubers. Now he wants a pity party when he got dealt a bad hand. Well, how the turntables. I'm in tears. I never bought bits, nor have I bought it. What the actual hell, Twitch? I know I'm small, so this won't go anywhere, but I still will scream into the void anyways. Stay safe, other VTubers. Terms of service violation. Using stolen payment information to purchase Twitch bits. Using botted or stolen accounts to use Twitch bits. Man, it sounds like this guy's security platform was working great. Okay, so Twitch is having an issue. Turns out I am one of the many that got banned for stolen account payment info. This is the guy that was proudly saying he built the platform that caused all these violations, by the way. I have received the same email today, also stating my account is indefinitely suspended for the same reason. Already sent the appeal, but seeing what happens to others on a large scale is now just suspicious. Get this notice, please. I'm shaking. There is something going on with Twitch. If you see anything about suspension for terms of service violation and stolen payment or bit information, I was affected as well, and many VTubers or Twitch streamers who are affected. I have you in my thoughts. So not all great coming from that. Permban continues, says many more than just these four. And I could go through them all, but the point is that this quote unquote security guy, that his job was to build the entire fraud program, was incorrectly, allegedly banning people that are stating that they did nothing wrong. Maybe they did, but I would tend to lean to agree with the multiple people that are like, what the hell? Over a dude at Twitch that built an entire program himself. Like, I feel like there might be some hiccups in that program. Dan Saltman says, if you worked at Twitch and were laid off, now is the time to share your stories of what in the actual fuck has been going on at that platform for the last year. And Red says, anyone with any info worth any value will probably be under NDA. Rest will just be rumors. It sucks. NDAs are essentially unenforceable in California for non-executives. Ooh, that's interesting. This is the same guy that got laid off that I talked about earlier. I'm still not sure what I think about all this. 11 plus years working at the company. I never got recognition for the work I did. I had death threats and my personal info leaked. The way they laid me off was by an email. Didn't even have the common courtesy to set up a call. This is great. Now you get a taste of what it's like to lose your livelihood in seconds. Now you want sympathy when you destroyed thousands of lives with zero sympathy. Karma is a bitch. And we have Chris Pavlovsky, who is the head of Rumble, the CEO of Rumble, who says 1 more year to go, right on schedule. Quote tweeting, prediction, this is a year ago. Amazon shuts down Twitch within 2 years or sells it, probably sooner. With everything that's been happening with Dan Clancy and the Emeru situation at TwitchCon and how TwitchCon is a complete catastrophe, they cannot have another TwitchCon. Like, it needs to stop. After this year and how terrible it was, I don't know anyone in their right mind that would want to attend that, because now people know it's right out in the open that Twitch doesn't do a damn thing. And it's not just the Emeru situation. There's multiple videos of people having fake badges on or badges that weren't working and putting them up to the scanners. They're not beeping. And the people that are quote unquote security just saying, yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. Just go ahead. It's, yeah, that you got the badge. It looks the same. Sure. Like, do you not understand how insane that is? Because if you guys are trying to keep in mind, like, specific who's in there, who's entered, the scanning the badges, everything like that, of the potential criminal liabilities of people entering the area, if you're just letting random people come in that have badges that look like the other badges, that is a massive security flaw, like massive, alongside a slew of other things that happen. Not just, like I said, not just the Emeru thing. And finally, Twitch is having the comeuppance, where Amazon proper is finally taking a look at the entire organization and saying, yeah, not just Twitch, but Amazon overall, it's laying off 14,000 people. That is so many people. And I get it's a massive company, but still, 14,000 is a lot of people to be laid off. And with Twitch being affected most, it's karma. At the end of the day, it shouldn't surprise anyone, even this guy. In a weird way, I feel like this might be the moment that Twitch starts to heal. If they start taking things seriously, Dan Clancy needs to go. He needs to be fired. He needs to not have this fail upward, going somewhere into Amazon, someone else taking over. No, this guy needs to go. They need to bring someone into Twitch that takes control and says, we're not going to be doing this favors for lefty lunatics and penalizing people that we don't ideologically agree with shit anymore. That can't fly. On a platform where multiple different voices need to be heard, you need to equally apply the laws and rules that you have on your platform. And they've been doing anything but that. They got Tectone being banned for 2 weeks for calling Frogan fat. Meanwhile, someone does an essay and they're banned for less than 24 hours? What? That's nothing makes any sense. Not to mention, nothing happened to Hassan with the whole dog shock collar thing. No penalties, nothing. Even after the footage showed up about how he's treating his dog in the past, stuff like that, no penalties at all. Apparently, that's Twitch telling people it's okay to torture your dog on stream, as long as we ideologically agree with your standpoints on what you're saying. That's Twitch, and that is insane. But we'll see what happens from here. If anything, it's either going to fall apart and dissipate from here or potentially start getting better. But the best part about this is, either way, it's a win. Twitch either goes away or gets better. I'll take that over just staying the course of what it's been doing. This is something different, and I'm all here for it. How many people did Twitch lay off today? It's not going to say because it only has a percent, I think, but at least it can give information. Rumor was 35% of the staff. How many would that be? There you go. So 4,400 people estimated. That's 1,540 people roughly that got laid off today. A lot of people got their pink slips today. So I don't hear anyone on the internet crying about it. This is Unify, shows the total employees here. How many people work at Twitch? 4,416. So there you go. I've never heard of Unify, but it even breaks it down for the roles. That's crazy. Interesting stuff. Shadow Imagery follows up with a 5-banger. Twitch terms of service, 13 plus. Dan, we need more 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old users, 12-year-old users. Totally not sus at all, by the way. Did he actually say that? Did he actually say they need more 8-year-old users? Shadow Imagery says, yes, he did. Yeah, holy shit. Shadow Imagery. I found it from Decoy Voice. And this is Dan Clancy apparently talking about 8-year-olds. What?
Thing we do need to make sure we do, we got to keep attracting younger viewers that, grow up on TikTok, when they're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even though they shouldn't be.
This incident should
He's the CEO. You can't say that. What? Holy shit, that's insane. I've never seen that clip before. Holy shit. Check his hard drive. Stat. Holy. Like this is the thing. I feel like back in the 80s and the 90s, sure, people did a lot of cocaine when they're in CEO positions and above and stuff like that. But I feel like there was like a level of professionalism that corporations held themselves to, that they would only bring the best and the brightest to lead the divisions because it was so important. Every decision was make it or break it. And now it's turned into these companies make so much goddamn money that it doesn't matter who they even put in charge. And they don't care if it even tanks it because to them, it's a tax write-off. It's crazy. It's crazy what's happened. Holy, that's wild.